So you've just received your brand new MyoChill and we hope you love it. Now we're going to take the content out of the box and show you how to set up your new MyoChiller. When you open the box, you will see there is lots of different attachments on top of the box. We're going to take these all out and I will talk you through what each one does now. Firstly, you'll have a pack with all your attachments in. Inside this pack, there's also a small bag with spare fittings in case any might break. We'll explain all of these shortly. Next, you have your Myo pump and also a small rubber housing that can allow you to screw it to the ground if required, but this is optional. Next, you have some insulation which can go over your pipes, which are over here to attach your ice bath to your chiller. Following on from that, we have our filter housing, and next to that, we also have our attachment to let it hang on your MyoChill, and a small screwdriver which works with the red plug at the end to let any air out of your filter when the chiller is running. Now we'll take the MyoChill out of the box and get ready for installing this next to your ice bath. Firstly, out of your connection packs, you have these long nozzles with an attachment that slides over the end. We want to get both of these out. So 2 long nozzles, 2 circular sections that go over the end, and then you will have white rubber washers within them. We're going to attach these to the top of our MyoChill and pop off the plastic covers. Then we're going to lay the white washer on top of the blue thread. Slide the end over the long nozzle, then gently line it up while pulling the nozzle high and just screwing it on by hand, nice and slowly, until we feel it tightening up. Position your nozzle to whichever angle your tubing will be going towards your ice bath. Repeat on both sides. Next, we're going to attach your little external pump. Before we plug this into the back of the MyoChill, we are going to get 2 connectors out of your connection bag with 2 rubber washers. These are 2 connectors to attach to either side of your pump. Firstly, we'll be sliding in the black rubber washer inside the connector and pushing it down with your finger. Now we will be screwing this on to the little external pump, and we want to screw this by hand. It should smoothly turn. If it is not turning smoothly, you're probably not correctly in the thread, and then you just want to tighten gently by hand. This should stop the end from wobbling. We want to repeat this on both sides. If you have not screwed it on strongly enough, this end will wobble. We want to get a smooth turn so it finds the thread, and by hand we just gradually twist and turn until we feel it tighten, and as it tightens, the end will no longer wobble. Once this is done, we will be attaching the small connector into the back of the MyoChill by just pushing it into the hole in the top right-hand corner. If you wish to put your insulation onto your tubing, now is the time to do that, and simply slide your tubing through your insulation, and what this will do is keep your water a little bit colder, especially throughout the summer months. You have 3 sections of hose pipe, 2 shorter and 1 longer. The longer section of hose pipe will go from one side of your MyoChill to the top of your ice bath where we will return the water. This can be put to one side and we'll come back to it shortly. The 2 shorter sections will be used to come from the lowest section of your ice bath in to your pump, which I'll show you now. When connecting the shorter hose pipe to your pump, you want your pump arrow facing away from your ice bath. This tubing will come from the lowest outlet of your ice bath and be pushed onto one end of your pump. If you find this difficult, you can always boil a kettle and put hot water in a cup and then soften the end of each section of tubing to push it on more thoroughly. We're now going to get the other section of hose pipe and push it on to the other side of your pump. Please be aware, once you start circulating water, you want your pump at ground level so it can fill with water from your ice bath and not get blocked with air. You can now get the other section of shorter hose pipe and push this into the end of your Myo pump mini pump, or you can also do it with the section of tubing on your filter. This part, it doesn't really matter. Now it's time to get your filter and your filter housing. This metal filter housing just slides onto the 2 screws on the side of your MyoChill. You place on and push down, and now it is in position. Next, we will get the tubing coming away from your pump, so the direction of the arrow is going from the lowest outlet of your ice bath into your pump with the arrow, following this direction as we press this into the side with the arrow continuing, and you place it in. If this arrow is the other way around, it is not a major factor on the filter, as it is just the flow of water going through, and it will continue to filter the water. Once you have done that, we are going to place your filter into the housing, and then with the shorter hose already attached to the filter, you can reposition the top nozzle for ease of placement and press it on to your chiller. Now we're going to attach the longer hosing to the top of the MyoChill. Again, if you need to soften the piping, you can do with some hot water, but once this section is attached, this will be going to the inlet on your ice bath, so the highest point of your ice bath where water will be going back in to your ice bath. Depending on your style of ice bath, you've got screw-in hosepipe connectors, or already in your quick release, a screw-on. So if your ice bath has pipes coming out with a thread, you'll use this. If your ice bath has holes to screw in, we'll use this type. There's other connectors within your chiller pack. These can be screwed directly into your ice bath or onto your ice bath if you do not wish to use the quick release connector. But we'd highly recommend using the hosepipe quick release to make it easy when cleaning your unit and your ice bath. Within your connector pack, you'll also have small zip ties. This is if you wish to pull together any wires or tubing to keep it nice and neat. And finally, you have white PTFE tape. This is plumber tape that you can pop out, and it is a roll of tape that you can use if there is any leaks. We highly recommend before screwing on or in your quick release ends, you lay this around it 3 to 4 times. So all you do is place it tightly on, pull it around, a few runs. I've done 3 times there, and then I just tear it off, rub it on nice and neat, and then when you screw this in to your ice bath, it will then create a watertight seal to stop any dripping. Once you have connected the quick release attachment to the lowest part of your ice bath and the outlet tap, and the longer connector into the inlet tap higher up in your ice bath, there should now be water within the system. Now we're ready to plug in the MyoChill. Please be aware, if you're using this outside, to do it in a waterproof outdoor socket, or to have an extension to an outdoor waterproof box, which will keep your plug nice and dry and your electronics safe. The plug is built in with an automatic switch off if there is any moisture found within the system. To set this up correctly, please press the reset button, and this will switch on your MyoChill. Now your chiller is turned on, it will show you the current water temperature. Please be aware that if your pump starts whistling, once you turn the chiller on, it means that there is no water within the pump. So please make sure it's below the outlet pipe, or place your hand with your hose pipe inside your ice bath water and flush water through the system to get it circulating. If the pump continues to squeal or make a noise, please unplug it and then replug. We do not want this loud squealing noise. Now that the MyoChill is turned on, it will show you your current water temperature. We can press set and then put it down to our desired temperature. Please remember, this is a mini chiller and not a heater, so it will not heat up from lower outdoor temperatures. I personally recommend anywhere from 6 to 7 degrees has been perfect for me. Now it flashes to show that it has been set, and it will come back to the original water temperature. Working will be flashing in the top right, and this takes 3 minutes for the chiller to kick in. Once it kicks in, you will hear the fans going, and if you put your hand behind the unit, you will feel warm air being pulled. That is once the chiller starts chilling down to your desired temperature. Please be aware that when you set your desired temperature, the chiller has a built-in safety mode. So once it reaches 6 degrees, it will then switch off chilling to let the chiller recover until it goes up by 2 degrees. Once it reaches 8 degrees, it will then switch back on and bring it back down to 6 degrees. So please make sure you take this in mind when setting your desired temperature. Very rarely, people find that the water temperature on the thermometer might be just a slightly little bit out of what the actual chiller is showing them. So to change this, it is a very rare case when this happens. You just hold the set for 5 seconds, you'll see a D, ignore that and press down, and a CA is your temperature. You press on this and it should be 0, but we will change this depending on the temperature in the water. So you can put it up by 1 degree if your temperature in your water is saying it's up by 1 degree, or you can put it down by 1 degree if the temperature in your water is saying it's down by 1 degree. Once this has happened, you press set and it will take you back, and then you press reset and it takes you back, and that changes what the temperature is currently from 15 to 16 because I put it to -1. So once water is flowing around your system, your filter should fill up with water all the way to the top. If for any reason there is water in the system, you have your small screwdriver and a red cap we can unscrew. You will hear it hiss with air coming out until water starts sputtering out, and then we can tighten it back down. So please remember key things with your chiller. So it doesn't matter which one of your top nozzles is the long hose pipe or the short one, because when it passes through the chiller, it will chill and it does not require a certain direction. What we do need though is your lowest outlet to go into the pump. The direction of the pump arrow being away from the ice bath in the direction of the water, and then as that enters into the filter, the arrow on the filter does not matter. It will filter any debris no matter what. So the key one is your pump, and then it will go back into your chiller, and this will circulate round and go into the highest inlet on your ice bath where water will re-enter into the bath. If for any reason there is squealing in your pump, please turn the pump off quickly or unplug it. And if there is air within the system, sometimes it cannot circulate correctly. What we need to do then is make sure the pump is below the outlet of water so that it fills with water and then can push the water throughout the system. Sometimes if there's an airlock within the system, we recommend your hose pipe that you filled your ice bath up with, placing it inside the water into the outlet hole at the bottom, and that will jet wash through the whole system and push the air bubble out. And once it's circulating, that should have resolved the issue. Also, with your filter, please make sure to replace the white filter cartridge on a regular basis. Around 6 to 8 weeks, you can either hose pipe it down and clean it with some chemicals, or you can get new ones from our website. This can affect the flow of water if it gets too grimy and dirty. And please make sure, if there's any leaks, you have used the correct washers on the connectors, or you have used the PTFE tape, the white tape that we can wrap around the thread, either on your ice bath or on the connector, to make sure there is a nice watertight seal. We hope you love the MyoChill, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us and we will try our best to answer as quickly as possible.